I'm not. It's like 3 in the morning. I'm not going to do the intro where it goes bah, da, 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 da. Just not going to do it. I am going to do something. 50%. I can change my contrast now. I can like fix the saturation a little. Get rid of sharpness. Increase sharpness. I can zoom out. I can zoom way in. You don't need to be this close. You really don't. I'm like 20%. You're fine. We could do exposure as automatic. I got things set up a little bit. Obviously. I need to get all this set up. Yeah, Cozy. We are crazy. I got a script for how the things are. My desk is not the way I want it to be 100%, but it's pretty close. I did some tests, and I'll post those tests on my channel because I have no idea how I'm going to take care of the lighting. The exposure from the lighting. What's it look to you guys? Because like on my screen, it doesn't look horrible, right? Because otherwise, we go white balance automatic. That looks way worse. It's not what it is. Exposure automatic, and look at that. Go back to this, and like they have it at a 0.0 compensation center weighted, and I have a 582. So auto exposure looks better. Auto exposure looks better because that looks washed out to me. This looks really washed out, really unnecessarily bright. It's actually not true colors. Let's see. Connecting to the stream so I can see the stream. Oh, that doesn't look too bad on live. So when I get rid of the automatic, what's it look like on live? Oh, that's really low, isn't it? I will say the low is more accurate to how it actually is, though. So automatic, you can see a bit more detail because it brightens things up, but it also blurs it out because it's compensating for the lower light. So I can increase my shutter speed too if I wanted to, or decrease it. Let's go up to 640. You have the 650? Okay, I can go to 640. I think 640 is pretty good. Congratulations. Thank you, Shadow. Yeah, so there's a lot of different things I can do for lighting. My biggest problem is the way it looks on live versus the way it looks on like camera are vastly different. They're vastly different. And you'll see what I mean when I post the video. I have to I can increase the contrast. There's 60 contrast. That's 80. I don't know what that looks like right now. That's not too bad. That's like 80% contrast. That is nuts. You guys like this 80% contrast? Yeah, post processing is a pain in the butt. My phone has such a it's weird. You would think that would be the better camera because this is a 4K or 1080p 60 frames, 1080p 60 frames per second. So actually 150, 140, 130. So weird. Frames per second is so weird. 160 seconds, 640 ISO. So here's the settings currently. Zoom is at 120%, contrast 80%, saturation 50%, sharpness +2. We have, I can't change the center weight because it goes with the automatic setting. My exposure settings are shutter speed 1 to 60 seconds. ISO is 640. My temperature is at 2800K because otherwise it screws with the colors. Don't know why. And I keep the noise reduction off because it really did. I'm going to keep the noise reduction on, actually. That's kind of nice. I'm going to look at it on the live. My live keeps lagging behind. So now I got to wait for it to not lag. Oh, wow, yeah. It's a little bit, I don't know. Does it look a little blurry to you guys? Because this would be the setting then. This is a decent camera setting for live. I don't think this is bad. See through your glasses. Yes. That's actually an amazing thing. You can see through my glasses. Can you see through my glasses on? Yeah, you can see through my glasses on the other setting. I can't do just a bit. It's another 10%. You guys want it 130? The 720p is a bit grainy. Am I at 720 right now? Did I forget to bump it up to? Oh, well. Yeah, it's whatever. I was Steven's into computers. I was working on cable management and trying to figure the UPS system out and all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I could wait to set everything up, or I can get everything set up and then fix it later. So there's a couple cords that are like my monitor cords are zip tied in. Everything else is just kind of together temporarily because when you have to move lighting to get things right, which can take a while, it's going to be annoying. My first thing before I mess with my background lighting that I have full control over is I'm going to change out this light bulb and try to find something with like a cover on it as well. So I'd be unwiring that and putting something with a cover in it. And then I can also, you guys can't see it, but I have brown walls. And if I painted those white, that light would reflect. So we could test that out before I painted it by putting paper on the walls. You just put white paper on the walls. And I can get like a roll of it and I can tack it in. And then if that works, if the combined two things work. Also, the light bulb that's there, I keep looking at it, it's really bad, is one of those that warms up over time. Upward facing light as well, getting an amplified shadow on your shin. Yep. That is, there's not a whole lot I can do about a lot of different things. Currently, I don't have a middle light. Usually you'd have a middle light right there, like that. It'd be more centered, mind you. I suppose I can hang it on that thing. But the middle light also has no balance to it. So lighting sucks. Absolutely hate fucking with lighting. You have so much that you can do just to turn around and be able to fix it with one click in post-processing. As long as you have a clear enough image and your lighting's clear enough, you can fix it with one click. So LED strips and filming do not mix. I learned that the hard way. I spent $50 in LED strips just to learn that it depends on the frequency at which the LED fluctuates. The best lighting isn't LED in any sense, and that's actually currently what I use, ironically enough. I will probably look for something, and if you run colder light, it'll cancel the warm tones from the ceiling. Yeah. The problem I have is this. It's actually the shadows that are the problem. It's not the other stuff. I can get a small light for underneath, right? If I wanted to. We can put it all the way underneath the desk. And we go like right on the side. And it'll lift that up. Now, if you go here, now, yeah, that light isn't going to do a whole lot. I can turn it down though. And that takes care of the shadow, but I had to have it like right here. There's no reason for that. It gets too complicated. Yeah, that's another thing. Lighting with glasses can be an absolute nightmare. The reason I like my last place is that it was like damn near perfect as far as like because I had beige walls. I hated the beige walls, but because the walls reflected the light really well, it was pretty decent. I actually hurt myself, but yeah. I don't know if you can. My mic's over here. You guys can hear me just fine. Are you guys hearing me roughly the same as you used to, or because I don't really like it's completely out of the way. I don't have to worry about it unless I put my camera like way over here for a look at my door scenario. Yeah, great. That's awesome. I also noticed that my current setup, the great thing about call center walls, let me unzoom you real quick. Oh, never mind. Call center walls, they are naturally built as audio diffusers. That's not the word I'm looking for. Yeah, I don't have the boom arm. I mentioned that I can't. I have like a static arm. Works great. Sound dampening. Thank you. Dampening. Yeah. So my Echo, pretty much dead. My Echo died. Like you can still somewhat hear it, but you got the wood paneling there that was killing it to begin with. But then it would echo on this side and over here, and because I now have it blocked in, yay, call center stuff. I have had these for several years now, and I spent $50 on 4 panels. And I think that just saved me a tremendous amount of time. And then, of course, I have the thing up there. I think we basically created the box of goodness. Get an audio, get a boom mic set up so that I could, still exist over there, but I can go if I wanted to. But if I get a boom mic set up, probably going to go high end on it. Not going to lie, probably going to go high end on it. One of the things I can do when I get enough stuff set up for all this stuff. Probably do it with my tablet a little bit easier. Probably just work on my tablet. Because I can now put my tablet up here as a third screen or down here, wherever. Because it used to be, you guys can't see it, but I used to have my monitor going all the way through where you guys are sitting. And I had an extra little thing that's currently moving that. Those cords will get out of the way eventually. Little monitor arm that used to hold stuff. Yeah, we're doing okay. Yeah, the collection will brighten it. That's another thing as that happens. And I'm tricky to get further into this. My van is still dead now, thanks to the trip. We still need to finish cleaning the other house, and we have discovered that the new landlords are awesome. They are. They got the situation taken care of really well, and we have been overly stressed, and we're mostly good. Everyone's got a bed. We got a new washer dryer. Still don't have a couch or a whole lot of other furniture, but we got like the necessities, which is what I wanted. And we still have about 10 months of a buffer zone for the time being, which will help out because my spouse's paychecks took a dive, like massively, and they're going to take an even larger dive. So it buys us time to get that taken care of. I don't think he would be. Sherlock Holmes is all about his mind palace as well, and imaginative thinking and stuff, and thinking outside of the box. I think Sherlock Holmes would be great. It would be Moriarty, who would be Asian. But yeah, we're doing okay. Yeah, they fixed the flooding already. They got it done in a single day, and they paid for dinner. It was awesome. Stephen, that's awesome. Thank you so much. To anyone that doesn't know, the donations help with the monthly bills, basically. Donations, fan funding, ad revenue, all that goes towards monthly bills. And that makes it so that we can breathe a little bit easier and afford rent, especially considering rent went up. YouTube gives us the reason why we like YouTube so much. YouTube takes 30%, but they protect us in case somebody nixes it away. So we got a bunch of people who just became sponsors. We need to be more on the ball with exclusive stuff. I've tried. Life just kept hitting me in the gut and just doesn't want to stop. So hopefully we'll get a break in the next couple of weeks and be able to move forward. So, but yeah, that's the reason why we like doing that. There is a point where the shadow goes away. So I know if I turn that overhead light off, the shadows go away. And do you guys want to know how I fixed it on the last place? Because I had the same problem, and it was for the same reason. The overhead light was roughly in the same area. It was actually behind me, so I wasn't staring at it, which was actually better. But it was right above me, which made it even worse. I put a paper towel over the light. Not like the light itself. The light itself had a dome, but I put a paper towel over that. Took care of it. Killed it. It was a 5-cent solution for a fix that was driving me nuts. So I know that if I want to fix the overhead lighting situation, I need to figure out the solution to that. Now with this particular light bulb, I'm gonna have to rewire in an entire light fixture, because that particular light fixture is like one of the cheap garage lights, and I don't have a way to just like click a button. I could 3D print something though. Wonder how hot that bulb is. It's been on for a little while. Should be about as hot as it's gonna get. I don't know. I could, yeah, diffuser. I have to set up my... If I can find the diffuser that I saved when we went to move, because I made one that was actually meant for a different light that I had in front of me. The light that I brought that's supposed to be my front-facing light doesn't have a weight. Still needs a diffuser on it, because otherwise I'm going to get blinded by it. But I could put that right there. Yeah, I could do that too. She is okay. She now knows where the office is. The other day, yesterday, like really, really late last night, because I was live the other night too. So I guess maybe early this morning. I don't know. I got more of the office set up, and I came downstairs. She knew where I was going, so she followed, and she essentially stopped at the door. I opened the door. She walked in. She waited. So door open. I go through the door. I close the door. I go to the other door, which goes to the garage, and I opened it up, and she walked right in. Then she turned around and waited, and I come in, and then I go sit down, and then she proceeds to yell at me and judge me, and then jump on me and everything like that, and get comfortable. So she learned. Yeah. It is early morning. I can try to figure out a diffuser situation. It's probably going to be the best solution to do. So I'll try a diffuser, and if that works, to get rid of this shadow, because that's all I got to get rid of. The rest of the lighting is well enough when you add in the above lighting that it's bright enough that it looks about midday. And you get rid of that overhead lighting, it looks like later in the evening, which is perfect. Those are the two time frames. Early morning, I would just film when the sun's out. It will have more than enough light shine in, and that would be the perfect time. I can't really create an early morning feel without massively changing my lighting setup, and that was the same way at the other place. The only reason I was able to mimic that stuff was because I did the exact same thing. If I wanted an early morning shot, I just simply filmed in the morning. If I wanted an evening, like mid-morning evening shot, I just had the overhead light on. Boom, middle of the day, nice and bright. Lights are on though in the building as well. That's your shot. If I wanted night, I just kicked the overhead light off because that mimicked the sun. I want to buy something for her so she can like lay on the side of the desk, but I get the feeling that she's just gonna claim a spot, even if I give her a spot. Basically, you attach it to your desk, and it makes a bed. And I don't know, I'm tempted to do it, but at the same time, I feel like she's just gonna like, no, I don't want to lay here. I'd rather lay this other spot. So I feel like it's gonna be pointless. But yeah, I need to figure out the lighting situation. Another thing is the moment I see, that's my computer. That affects my lighting so much. So what I do is I get a neutral background. I'm gonna have to change my background. So I'm gonna have to change it. I'm gonna have to change it to something dark because my background's usually like the default background. I used to have rotating backgrounds on my other computer. I don't have that anymore. Just because it got annoying to do. No, that won't shut off. Okay, thank you. So I'm not going to give myself those type of powers. But what I did do is I have the ability to manipulate time. It costs time to do it. But when you're a semi-immortal, not a big deal. And when you get to the point to where you want to age, and it took you years to figure out that you could force yourself to age, see, since I have white showing in my beard, and I call myself a semi-immortal, people will go like, well, hey, what about all that white hair and the balding this and that? And it's like, I'm forcing myself to age. She's going to get a scratch pad down here. I just haven't decided. Because there's a spot that I accidentally made that is white enough. Anyway. Yeah, kind of. But there's a spot wide enough now that I could have a guest, like right there, technically right there. That side of my desk. See the little chair on the side right there. Also, I'm gonna put. If anyone remembers the phone is gonna go right there. That's gonna move. That's the plugin for my Alexa. I didn't feel like putting the Alexa over here yet, but I'll have the phone over there so that it's raised and covering that up. And then I'll have my pictures up. And I really like how that looks right now. I really like how that looks. And I happen to have both the light and dark sword of Zelda. So I like the idea of keeping the lightsaber there and then having the Zelda sword on the other end. And I'm just going to make it so that like when I'm centered, those will be centered. Wherever I am on there is where those are going to go. So I got to measure it, figure out where the middle part is. And then I need to figure out where I am in relation to it from wherever I have my camera for the most part. I could see my character doing that once or twice just to like see how it feels. Or because he needed excess cash. To be fair, the way I see it is depending on what I'm doing will depend on how much it actually takes. So, for example, if I'm pausing time, much easier. I am just burning my own time to hold everything in place. And if it's a localized event, even easier. Now, let's say I fast forward time. just fast forwarding my time, which causes everything to fast forward. Not something Levi likes to do, because it's exactly what it sounds like. Pausing it means that I can also be a quote unquote speedster. Rewinding time is tricky though. I'm not rewinding my time. I am burning my time like when I pause it, but then it's like double the amount to turn around and rewind it. Otherwise, I would be reversing my age. And that's not what Levi wants. He wants to age. And when you're semi-immortal and you wind up getting stuck in time a few times, you can reverse your age and reverse time and be like, aren't you afraid of you're running into yourself? Nope. My past self is currently 20 years that way. It's just one of those weird things. Antique phone booth in for your office with a sign that says no changing in to be here. That's a good one. Paradox issue is the issue. Yeah, paradox. Yeah. Joe, it's going to be really funny is when I do get the skit, if I do the one I want to do versus the one John wants to do. It kind of depends. I'm going to read both of them. I might combine them both. I'm effectively, Napa's going to be to blame for my new office. But it's not going to be a new office. I want to do the thing where I basically rewind time for that particular office, but not necessarily rewind it so much as swap it. So it's not rewinding time for the office. It's swapping the office places. And this is just 70s rustic type vibe to be like, Levi does it the long way around. I don't know. It would be fun to do some more longer form content in that vein, but I have no idea how that's going to go. I wanted to come on and just see how the camera and the mic setup and everything worked out. Transversal. Levi doesn't like time machines. Levi doesn't like time machines because Levi was the guinea pig for the first time machine that was made, and he got stuck, and he had to just live through it. And then he didn't want to go back in another one, but they were like, hey, we'll give you lots of money. We'll give you this. And he was like, okay, you fixed the problem, right? I'm not going to get... And it happened again. Since then, Levi's not a fan of them. Levi's not a fan of time machines. He just does things the old-fashioned way when it comes to time travel. Plus, it's a whole lot of paperwork, and Levi hates paperwork. After a few thousand years, no wonder he does. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Oh. Mm-hmm. It's been a day. Levi is friends with tech support, so Levi gets the nice tablet and everything is digitized most of the time. So when he has to sit there and do paperwork, he grumbles a lot. It's a whole joke in canon too, that the reason why it's because John yells so much. Like Levi yells a lot, but he's not yelling a lot at anyone other than like Napa and maybe John. Whereas John just yells at everyone. Joshua, I am moved for the most part. We're finishing cleaning up. We had a bit of an issue that delayed things, so we're getting that taken care of. I've got my office at least in a temporary setting so I can get back to work because that was starting to eat on me too. Mainly because I like being able to work. It's something to do. Yeah, that's how Microsoft managed to get the 3 Mile Island, so that they could put a giant computer on it that will effectively and turn on the nuclear generator over there so it will power AI. It's a thing they did. They created AI to effectively power more AI. Because AI was the only one that could do like the 3,000 pages of paperwork or whatever it was. It's fucking nuts. That's going to create enough power to power the entire city of, whatever, 3 Mile Island, I think of New York, something like that. No, Long Island? I don't know. I don't remember. It's in that area. And it bugs me. That's a thing that they did. It bugs me because, yeah, Joe is exactly right. It's a perfect way to use AI. It also is the reason why there's so many people getting so much stuff done that just is really hinky. Yeah, Jeremy, I might complain about my job sometimes, which is odd to complain about my job. Actually, I'm looking at that now, and that is not the right color for the... Oh, that's got a little tinge of yellow in it because of the light. I think I might change the light bulb. It might change a lot of things. But I still need a diffuser. Yeah. So we've only been live for about 36 minutes, but again, it was just to test some things out. Show you guys a sneak peek at the office setting. What you guys will see going forward. This might change a little bit because I got to get stuff. And it won't change anytime soon because I'm at a point to where I don't like using the money that I'm getting for anything other than rent and stuff. And we're almost done, and I really don't want to keep asking for donations. We've had some hard bills that hit way harder than I care for. And without the gracious support of Stephen and all the people that donated, we would not have gotten through all that. So I am eternally grateful for that because shit's been bad. $5K bulb is sunlight, $9K is fluorescent, $6,300 to $6,500K is natural. Could probably get a natural light. Pennsylvania. Ha! There you go. I have the computer up and running. I could have looked at that. I could have looked that up. I'm tired. Going at me. We got it set it. We got things looking decent. That particular picture is awesome because I have the artist who drew its autograph, and it's actually from something Red Hot Chili Peppers, I believe, is the artist. The person who does the art for the Red Hot Chili Peppers is the one who drew that, which is really cool. I won that. I did not pay for that. I won that at Comic-Con. That is number 228 out of 250. So. But this feels good. It's nice and warm. Ow. Nice and warm setting. Sun lamps are good for sad too. Sad. What do you mean sad? Because you capitalize that. What do you mean by sad? As in like depression? Thank you. Light therapy? Oh, seasonal depression. I don't have seasonal depression. At least not in the same sense. It's when summer hits that I hate. I love the winter. Love the winter. Love it. was born in it. I was raised in it. I was molded by it. I was shaped by it. I was sorry, my bane was coming out. I love winter. I really do. I hate the fact that we don't have snow. That sucks. My biggest thing is if we're gonna have the cold, we should have the snow. Give me my snow. And then I need to get a snowblower too. Right now I'm okay without the snow because like it's allowing us to finish things up. But we could use the snow. Pony Bro setup is mostly done. I got some cleaning to do today. I'm going to call it quits here in about 20 minutes. I love the winter when it's -5 and snowing. Those recent warm winters where it hops back and forth and freeze-thaw cycles, getting everything soaked. Yeah. I'm also kind of worried about that too. Because like if water break, if this ceiling, the ceiling has obvious water damage, like it's had water damage before. And he mentioned that he did fix it. So there's some stuff that's been done. But that bothers me because that probably needs to be cleaned. There's a lot of things I got to do. I need to fill the holes that are in the wall because that isn't a hole. That isn't a hole. But that is. So it's going to be filled. There's a hole clear over here you guys can't see. Big one. Another big one. I'm just going to take the spray foam stuff that you spray in into cracks, the crack filler. Let's spray that in there. and it works. Just going to fill it up. I'm just going to cut. And then I will see what it looks like on camera before I do anything else. Because, like, if I don't have to paint it, I'm not going to. I can match the color pretty easily. Just get, like, a shadowy gray and make it look like a natural hole that isn't a fully hole. Last time it snowed, I lived on a really steep hill, and the water main at the top of the hill burst. Watching the cars trying to go up that was hilarious. I left Utah, moved to Oregon, and loved the lack of snow. Which phone do you think I'm talking about? Because there's a lot of different foams that are in a spray can, and it does depend on which one you get. Because some of them, they don't get any bigger than the tiny little thing that comes out the nozzle. Expanding foam. Yeah. Cork darkened with wood. Oh, yeah. I keep forgetting that stuff. And I have wood stain too. That color too, actually. The irony is I have that wood stain. But the expanding foam depends on which version of it you get. There's a lot of different ones. The ones that I get come in the black can, and it doesn't get to be about a ½ inch, but it is double itself in size. Low expansion foam on site to seal the cracks between the foam blocks under trailers. Which trailers? Or like it doesn't matter. Michael and Joanne's fabric should have corks. Yeah, I'll be able to. Nope, Levi, do not eat that gum. I've got the Respawn Focus gum, and it'll wake me up. And I was grabbing it because it's gum. It's the thin stick gum, so it doesn't hurt my mouth to chew or try to chew it right now. I think we're going to call the live early, because I think what we're going to do. It's late. I'm tired. And I got things set up. Also, I should probably check the internet before I do that, actually. Because I do not have priority right now, but it's late. Hey, 300 megabits per second. What? About a 60 upload, though. 56 megabyte upload, 334 download. I can work on getting Cat 6 cable and cable myself in. But honestly, unless I'm trying to game and stream at the same time and record and edit, as long as I'm not trying to do like 6 different things online, yeah, Joe, it's a pretty good balance. That's not a bad balance because that's more than enough down. And the upload is like 3 times what I've been sitting at. Like I was at 20 upload. I'm now at 60 uploads. So that would explain a lot of things too. I'm no longer in the center. There we go. Now I'm in the center. Especially if I sit. So. Redneck style gun rack for the swords. I could do that, but I also have the ability to print my own racks. I can just get Cat 6, but I could get cheaper Cat 5. I have Cat 5, actually. I have lots of Cat 5. But my internet goes faster than my Cat 5 cable is capable of pulling, and my computer can actually do the full terabyte speeds. So, or not terabyte, gigabyte. Gigabyte. Terabyte's not a thing. Well, terabyte is a thing, just not for people like me. Yeah, no, Jeremy, I got it because I moved, and so they offered it. Otherwise, I wasn't on it because I got grandfathered in a different program, and then I moved, and they're like, "Oh, well, this isn't a thing anymore, and you have to re-sign up." I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, we'll give you this price and this speed and this thing for 2 years." And I'm like, 2 years, you say? I'm good with that. We'll see what happens in 2 years. Yeah, I could. I could totally do that. I have the files, in fact. I actually have the files for several different helmets and heads and stuff like that. Hex 3D. Actually, I don't have the files anymore. I had an opportunity to download them, but I couldn't. It doesn't matter. $10 and I can have them again. But yeah. Apparently it can be, but it's not. No, there's no. I will be very surprised if I ever actually see that. I'm not sure. Like hardline, I was 820. Okay, at my last place, I was at like my max speed and my max upload. Here, I'm being told what they're trying to do is make it so that it's even. The other day, I had 300 down, 300 up. I was 100% even across the board. I had 300 megabyte per second upload speeds, and I was like, huh, what's up with this? It's expensive. Have you looked into how much those machines cost? I can't do metal printing. It's so expensive. Let's say jerry rig fucking TIG weld to something, and then that's a whole nother trouble. I don't have 5E either cable. I have like the first generation Cat 5 cable. The cable itself is like 10 years old. I need a new cable. It's like it was like when Cat 5 first came out, I had gotten that cord. You're not gonna make you're not gonna make a metal 3D. I mean, if you want to try, you can try. But a metal printing 3D printer, you're gonna spend more money making it than it would be to buy one, and that's like 10 grand. There was a company trying to make desktop versions of them, and they did not do well. They had so many problems, they recalled the printer. Now, that does mean it's possible. They did prove that it's a possibility, so I am looking forward to that. And there's a company that's out there that makes them, but they're not desktop yet. They're like, it'll be about the size of my kid. When it comes to those type of printer, yeah. The software on those are nuts. I was about to have fiber at the new house. That's the sucky thing. I was this close at not the new house, the old house. This close to having fiber at the old house. I had signed up. They went in, dug the lines, screwed up the sprinklers, got those fixed, and then just stuff. It was just. Then we move, and I made the call, and I was like, "Hey, are you laying lines out here?" And they're like, "Nope, we're nowhere near that direction." I'm like, damn. So I called Comcast because I was like, if they ain't there, oh boy, I might wind up on satellite internet. Comcast was there, and I was like, oh, thank God. They didn't want to be on satellite internet. Because that would have made things interesting. Although with how strong of a cell signal I have out here, I probably just would have tinkered with doing a cell service plan. Probably would have gotten unlimited data, 5G internet, which would have been about what I'm getting currently, the 300. But sharing that between everyone, I would have had to do at least 2 plans, one for the main house and one just for my setup, which would have totaled about $100 a month. But then the initial cost of equipment would have been another $300-400 for each one. Definitely for the XP instead of for the practicality. Yeah. I'm going to say something to this, Joe. And Steven can probably back me up on this one. Sure, you could do it for the XP instead of the practicality. That's because you're young. For those that don't know, Joe is very, very young. Like 19, 20 now. As somebody who's in their late 30s, you can do things for the XP, But if you think about the cost analysis and the time, way more. Like I go, hey, is it worth the next half year of my life to do this thing that is going to cost me more money than if I just bought it, so I know how to do it? Or do I just get it, have it now, and then over the course of however long I want to, make my own version that's more cost effective for me, and I can learn it? There's nothing saying that you can't do both. But if one is going to cost you more than the other, do the cheaper one. Get the thing that you need. So like metal 3D printing as an example, if I wanted to make my own printers in general, I could. But it is more cost effective for me to get a nice, good printer and start printing right away, so I have that experience out of the way. Yep, that's another thing. Is it going to be a skill that you're ever going to use again? Realistically enough to remember it is another thing. Because I learned a lot of things as a kid. Learned a lot of things as an adult. Doesn't mean I know how to do them well now. I know how to do them, but doing them enough to say I know how to do them is an entirely different thing. Like I learned Spanish. I don't remember how to speak Spanish. I could print myself printer parts, and I was going to do that. I was going to make myself a Prusa and do it by part because that's all I could afford at the time. And to me, it was a good use of my time because it would have been, a journey I would have done. And then the Bamboo Labs came out. And they made 3D printing so damn easy that I reevaluated how I wanted to do 3D printing. The ecosystem of Bamboo Labs just by itself was worth it for me to get those printers. Now I need to set the printer area back up, recalibrate my printers, and then make sure they have the power they need without concern. So they're going to have their own UPS as well. My internet will have its own UPS, but a much cheaper one because I don't need a giant one for that one. I think only one printer will need the UPS machine, and my computer will have one. So that's two for $600 that I don't really, $480 probably, 490, 500 on the high end. But I don't need to do it all at once, which is why I got my computer hooked up. So the XP thing is, my current setup is actually a good example of that. My current setup was XP thing. Do I not work for untold amount of time, get the thing I could need, or do I jerry rig something up and get back to work, but I'm going to have to turn around and fix my setup at a later time? For me, jerry rigging my setup was more beneficial than doing it super fancy in a special way, making all my cords clean and everything. And it's like, I can do a mixture of that, which I did. I have a couple cords zip tied, and I'll go back and clean up cords as I fix my lighting and stuff. But yeah. You don't have to know how to use 3D modeling tools. You really don't. There's plenty of files out there, but if you want to model, absolutely. One of the things that you can do to get started is, if you know how to use Blender, you can do that. Bamboo Labs website has a lot of easy 3D modeling tools, and their software is pretty decent. You can also do, not Kira. Oh God, I can't remember. My kids use it. I can't remember what it's called. Oh, that's actually easy to fix. Concrete slabs and 1-inch foam, like the Eva foam. Just go buy Eva foam. Then you're good. You're set. You'll be able to make models. I gotta go in and I gotta learn it. I gotta do stuff with it too. My problem is that like I'm learning lighting and filmography and editing, the YouTube algorithm. I am not like Chris. I don't have the 10 plus years of comedy. I'm learning this on the fly as I make it, trying to figure out how to say things, how to do things, trying to think in that comedic way. And we've done really well, and he's taught me a lot. But again, I'm not Chris. I don't have that experience. So this is another thing I'm fundamentally learning from scratch without a whole lot of assistance. Local theaters and stuff like that just aren't an option for me currently. They might be in the next few months, but not right now. And they haven't been for the last 2 years. So, and we had the thing where like every time I would start to see any improvement on my own personal channels, some shit happens that causes me to get demonetized or lose my ability, or it becomes harder to get monetized. Like YouTube updated their 3-minute shorts, and because I've had several of my videos do really well on my channel recently, and I got like 600-700 watch hours. I was like, oh, I'm very close to getting ads. I need another like 200-300 watch hours and I'm going to get ads. And they updated and they took all those watch hours away. I'm actually now below the fan funding. I'm at 2,900 watch hours. It sucks. And it sucks so bad because the way I have to work it is just annoying. Yeah, I usually just download files and then I'll modify them, paint them, and that kind of stuff, and then go from there. I'll talk to people to have them be made for me, because usually it's a more effective use of my time than spending months on end trying to learn how to do a very basic model and then not even have the time to go back and use that skill again, because I'm doing all this stuff in real life. Anyways, it has been 1 hour and 3 minutes. We are done. Shutting it down. You guys have a good day. You guys have an Acme day. Have an Acme day as product build. Have an Acme day will retroactively build to your account. Have an Acme day. I'm glad we got this all fixed. I can tell Chris I can get back to work. Have a good one. Oh, and y'all lost the game.